Oh, it's Thursday. It's that time. It's the big podcast going live again. So please get to like it, share it, and enjoying being informed now. It's me, Wayne, on my own. We're having a little bit of a technical one. I am joined by my man, Mike Becky. I'm also joined by my man, Shay Cortez, in studio together for the first time ever on the BIM podcast. Looking like a really bad Diamond and Silk tribute act. What the extra fans? Hopefully I'm getting sleep today. How is everybody doing? It's been ridiculously hot over here in the UK. We've promised thunderstorms. No. So we're all just melting still.
What is up, internets?
Yo, internet.
How y'all doing? Welcome to the 29th episode. We're almost 30, guys. We gotta start restructuring the way we live our lives now. Welcome to the 29th episode of the BIM podcast. I am Mikey Famine.
I am Shay Cortez.
And I am Wayne Maker.
Oh, look at that. It's just the boys. Just the boys today.
Just some blokes.
Brenna could not be bothered. She was tired of Wayne and Shartan's constant sexual harassment.
Wow.
HR has been involved.
Yes.
And Wayne, you notice how the Viking is no longer here.
Yep.
So would you like to make amends today, or does HR have to show up at your crib?
Ain't no chickens tonight.
No.
Well,
I'm alright.
yeah, Brenna is doing some like real actual adult job stuff, so that's why she's not with us.
Brenna's being a grown up.
Yeah, she's piloting right now. Piloting and filming.
Yep.
She has a cool ass life.
Have you seen her videos?
Yes, they're very cool. And she does curling.
She does curling?
Yeah, she's a curler.
She's the only American that curls.
I think a lot of her friends are like Norwegian and Canadian.
Well, here's a fun fact that she told me before, in that people in the British Isles, mostly Britain itself, they don't use actual English curlers. They get them from Sweden.
Huh. Stealing.
What do you mean? We go to other countries and steal stuff and pass it off as our own?
Who would have thought it?
Colonizer.
Who would have thought? Y'all tried to steal Bob Marley. It didn't work.
That trade kind of got passed off to you guys as well, didn't it?
What?
How dare you?
Just saying.
Since Brenna's not here, I'm gonna be Brenna for a moment.
Are you gonna turn us yellow? Hey homie.
Hey homie. That shit was so funny.
She couldn't.
You can support the show on Patreon. We have 7 patrons right now, which I'm going to read their names: Dave McGinnis, Katarina, Stuart, Puff, Austin, Kristen, Oliver, and Richard. So thank you for the 7 people that are helping us out. Keep the wheels running around here. Running an internet show, it has unexpected costs, and any little bit y'all can do to throw our way to help us pay for that stuff means a lot. So thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, and also Sunday the 9th, I did a 5-hour hangout with Landon Kirtnell about nuclear weapons. If you are any kind of nerd, you're going to want to give us $1 on Patreon just so you can hear this talk. He only gives it a couple times a year, and the last time he did it was in Antarctica.
It was excellent.
He's the coolest person ever, and he was nice enough to let us record it so that we could, dangle the carrot out there to get some Patreon support. So if you guys want to see this amazing talk on nuclear weapons, even as a science buff, he taught me a lot of things I didn't feel like I was there for 5 hours. I'm gonna edit it and break it up into little bits, maybe like 30 minutes, 45 minutes a section or something like that. So it's a little bit more digestible for you guys. You can watch it on your own time.
He's bringing me back a penguin, so he's all good with me.
Well, I would want one. I think I'd want one of the extra large penguins.
The emperor penguins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have them like at the door. Like,
don't get any ideas, Wayne. It's not an actual emperor.
You can't put a crown on it and give it a title for the rest of its life. So don't.
Yeah, who would do that? What country would do that?
Why would somebody do that? Why would they do that?
We might have to start an international incident on this show.
Don't call Lizzie.
Mate, I've got her on speed dial. Bojo, alright, son?
Bojo! Bojo!
Nobody knows where Prince Charles is. That's another topic of conversation.
Yo, what's good? KV, what's good? Ben, what's good? If you guys see Theo in the chat over there, go to Theo's page. They have amazing artwork. They took care of all of our stuff. It looks amazing. We couldn't be happier. So go get your get your art on.
We, the members of the Black delegation, hereby thoroughly draft Theo as director of art and competition, as well as theatrical portrayals.
And you know who else is trying to get on the squad now? Now that they see Theo shining.
I know who it is. It's gotta be
RS.
It's gotta be Spates.
Spates is trying to get in the mix. So we got other shows coming. So maybe
why they always competing with you, Theo? They've been competing with you for almost 20 years.
Give it up. You lost. Already lost.
I got not one, not two, but 3 portraits and a tattoo. So I'm gravy.
Yeah.
Love you.
Next, let's get into our first topic of the day. Wayne, would you like to explain why you think it's okay for Aunt Becky to pay for her kids to go to colleges?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'll just make it up for you then.
All right.
So let me do a little screen share for your face.
I mean, I could pretend.
We'll just make up his opinions. It's not important.
Wayne likes pineapples on pizza. Disgusting.
Oh, you must.
All right, there we go.
Oh, his pizza's only pita bread and sauce.
I don't know if there's a child dancing. What is this about?
He doesn't know anything about pizza. We've already established that in the last podcast.
Why did you ship your sharings?
Well, this is People Magazine. I don't know what kind of people they're into over there.
They're people, little people, but
Yeah.
people nonetheless.
You want to read this? Or you?
Yeah, I'll go right ahead.
Okay.
Me. Lori Loughlin and Massimo Gianelli have purchased a new house after selling their multi-million-dollar Bel Air mansion earlier this year.
What?
The couple closed on a $9.5 million residence in Hidden Hills, California on Monday, People has confirmed. Nestled within a gated community, the modern farmhouse-style residence was built in 2019 and offers 6 bedrooms and 9 bathrooms within its 11,748 square foot of living space. The listing touts that the 2-story estate gives a fresh take on luxury country living, characterized by its warm tones, maple floors, and high ceilings. Related, Lori Loughlin and Massimo Gianelli resigned from Bel Air Country Club amid college admissions scandal. The stunning open-plan property also boasts a 2-story foyer, a formal living and dining room, and a chef's kitchen.
Hold on. Pause. Let's get to the dirt.
Let's get into it.
So initially they start off getting us to feel bad that they had to minimize their big mansion to a not as big mansion. And not as
lavish. Oh, that's a good line right there.
What is that?
While for most, a $9.5 million mansion would not be seen as a downsize, it is a significantly lower price tag than their last property in Bel Air.
Man. Art selling shirts at Target.
Wow, look at this. Loughlin and Gianelli had once listed their home for $35 million in 2017 before relisting it for a paltry $28.65 million in January. in the midst of the college admissions scandal.
All right, maybe this link isn't what I want, so I'm gonna stop
This
share.
link is praising
the
them.
reason I said no is because I have no idea what the story's about.
Okay, do you recognize that lady?
No.
Okay, do you remember the show Full House?
No.
Okay, so Full House was a show on in the 90s in America.
They didn't have television in the 90s.
It was like what's his name? What's the comedian? Bob Saget.
Bob
Saget
and Howie
was
Mandel.
And Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Howie Mandel.
Yeah, he was on it too. No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. What show was that he was on?
John Stamos.
Yeah,
This
Stamos.
is not like American-centric. Sometimes there's stuff that you have that we don't.
You guys watch our television. What are you talking about?
I think there's a lot of Brits that, if you're British and you know what, what's it called? Full House was, then
Primetime television.
yeah, like that was a big show.
Top 10 shows ever.
You know all the rest of our shows.
I think we had at the time like Wife and Kids.
We had The Weakest Link. We had The Millionaire Show.
Oh, we
Yeah.
stole those.
Yeah, we definitely stole both of those.
Hell's
we had
Kitchen.
The Office.
The Office. Yeah, we
Yeah.
stole.
The Office is genius.
Well, you guys only had one season, so
Yeah. And that's what genius.
you know what
That's
that
what we
is.
do. You just go in and there's a mic drop.
But you know what that is, though.
Couldn't keep it up.
Yep. The capital of impotence.
Look at that attack right now.
Absolutely. So Lori Loughlin played a character on that show, and I don't know how many seasons it ran, but a long time. This was a staple in American culture, and she was Aunt Becky. Aunt Becky was there. Well, Aunt Becky got in trouble because Aunt Becky was using all that Full House money to buy her kids into schools.
Because they dumb.
She didn't buy them tutors, she bought them placement. And her and the gentleman who use that term loosely. Go ahead. Oh, Lord, what? Why is that on the side? There's an advertisement on the side, and it is. Oh boy.
So we're getting produced off screen.
We didn't come to take part. We came to take over.
But her and this coach gave the kids scholarships for crew team to get them into the school. The kids can't row to save their fucking lives. They never went to the damn lake. They never did any of that stuff.
They can't even swim.
They probably can't swim. So they got this whole little scheme going, and he would give kids scholarships to get them into the college. And she would kind of make it worth his time. Well, so they both got busted, them and a dozen other families. Because of that, she got excoriated and everybody was mocking her. And that's why, after this admission scandal, they had to get a smaller mansion, Wayne.
They had to considerably downsize.
I'm actually going to start a GoFundMe.
I think we should. Can we turn this into a charity stream?
One of the things that makes this so egregious is the fact that at the same time, there was a black woman who was arrested and sent to jail because she was putting her child in school in a different district.
Yes.
We're not talking about paying to go to a better school or paying for a college. She just enrolled her kid in school in a different district using a fake address. And they found her and they put her in jail for it. And she had to serve her time.
Speaking of serving time, let's talk about how much time Aunt Becky spent in jail. Under the terms of the deal, which is still pending the judge's approval, Loughlin agreed to serve 2 months in prison, though the coronavirus pandemic can affect that time, pay a $150,000 fine, and do 100 hours of community service.
She would do 0.
While Massimo agreed to serve 5 months, pay $250,000, and do 250 hours of community service. Both could also spend 2 years on supervised release.
Probation.
Probation, yeah. Same thing. But yeah, they're scheduled to be sentenced August 21st.
This happened like 2 years ago.
Correct. They haven't been to jail yet.
They just been chilling.
So if you're rich and a bit of a celebrity, you can get away with doing stuff. If you're the opposite,
chocolate folk.
Bye.
Let's call it what it is. They locked that lady up and charged her and sentenced her in like 3 months, man.
Yeah.
It was very unfortunate. I'm not even trying to make comparisons here because people get lost in the comparison. What I'm saying is the justice system, which is what a lot of us have been complaining about, doesn't see people equally in the eyes of the law. Whereas if you commit a crime and somebody else commits a crime, they get less time and more lenient sentence than you do. It's not fair.
And instead of bribing someone, the lady literally just put in a fake address so that her kid could get into the school.
Because it was a better school. It was a better elementary school.
But this is the thing though. That as a parent myself, I'm quite snobby when it comes to education in the sense of I've got a school right behind me, but myself and my partner, we see the people that go to that school, and we see mainly the parents that go to that school, and we took one look at no. So we sent our daughter to a school that's slightly further away. We're still in the catchment area, but it's literally like I can look out my back window and see that school.
You can walk.
So parents do want the best for their kids, and one lady has bent the rules to try and get her kid into a good school and has had the book thrown at her, whereas another one has basically used her power to get her kid into a different school, and that's going to be it's just frowned upon. So silly.
It's a slap on the wrist.
Mild slap on the wrist. And her husband, like, do you guys have Targets in Europe?
What
the department store?
The retail chain.
Store. We have like the Range, or would probably be the equivalent. Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm saying like the brand Target. They have what's his last name? Massimo.
Yes.
He has like an entire line of clothing that is like their in-store brand.
It has been for 20 years.
So they are not poor by any stretch of the imagination. Like he has had his own Target brand, specific Target brand for years.
And those clothes are not cheap.
And they're ugly.
Yeah, they're not. I remember going to Target thinking I was going to come up with some deals. No, you might as well go to the Gap if you're thinking that you're going to get some jean deals.
This is Massimo.
I suppose our equivalent would be like Tesco. So like it's kind of like a Walmart-y kind of deal. All your supermarket stuff.
Like a little level above Walmart, like something like that. Same.
Do they have Walmart in Europe?
Yeah, no, Walmart own Asda. Asda is another branded supermarket over it, and Walmart bought Asda a few years ago. So now when you go into every Asda, you get a headache because it's just so fucking bright, ridiculous.
Does your government give them money to exist there?
Ours does.
No, they just let them do what they like. If you don't want to pay tax, fuck it.
Our government gives them money and they don't pay taxes.
Yeah, we do. We've got this thing called, it's changed recently, but working tax credit. So basically, if you pay people minimum wage, the state will top their wages up. So you've got a state subsidised workforce. That's
ridiculous. Actually leading on to another topic of today. But before we go, Jartan, what do you think about this?
Yeah, fuckers.
What's up, man?
Jartan, how was your weekend in London?
Amazing. I was in quarantine in Trondheim.
You were quarantined in Jotunheim?
Yeah.
By the Bifrost. It's right next to the Bifrost.
You do know that Jotunheim is a real place, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what makes it even funnier.
It's up there in Midgard.
Yes. The Midgard worm is right in the belly of the beast. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm still gutted, man. I'm still in Norway.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm up in the cabin now.
I was gonna say it looks like a cabin.
Better be a cabin. All that wood.
You have porta potties.
I'm sitting here with my candlelights. No fancy ring light for me.
Wouldn't bother them much. Do you have any takes on?
What? Sorry, Jartan.
Look at this motherfucker. Look at this motherfucker. Stroby McGillicuddy.
So it's an outhouse, right, Jartan? There's an outhouse in the woods where you are.
Yes. I'm well south of the wall now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's down here with
Currently,
the.
if you look outside Jartan's back window there, you see a bear fighting a dragon.
Oh, you could see that.
Yeah.
They're supposed to close the blinds when we go live. You know the dragon bear fighting always just derails the show.
Right, you got
We
the
get demonetized, shut down.
Yeah.
you got a triple threat match with a Yeti.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Game of Thrones to send me a copyright infringement letter.
It'll happen.
I'm sure Dana White's trying to get that into a franchise.
Yeah.
Probably.
He'll wait until the dragon becomes
I don't have a take. I don't have a take because, like, I feel that we've gone over how fucked up your education system and how that works, like 10,000 different times, and I don't like it. No.
Yeah.
So would you say that we have a 2 to 3-fold problem here with how both of these things were handled?
I would say you have. I think it's my best way to say it is that it's multifaceted. It's the problem doesn't start in one end and then the other. They are all intertwined. It's like a snake eating his own tail.
It's like a Republican human centipede.
It's systematic, is what the word you're looking for.
Systemic.
Yeah, systematic. Yeah. So the whole system has to be reformed for it to get better, and as long as you stay in the lane that you're in, it's not going to change. So it's not 1, 2, or 3 factors. It's the whole system. It's a systematic thing. So that's my 2 cents on that, and I feel like it's
so. So it's for the people who like to say that systemic racism doesn't exist. You have an unequal justice system. You have an unequal education system, and you have an unequal housing system. So if you take 3 of those things together, and you notice that one party is at a disadvantage in all 3 of those areas, and it's the same party that's at a disadvantage, that's a systemic issue because we have 3 systems at work that are all intertwined that affect the future and earning potential and probability of such. Would you guys agree?
Yeah. So you see the image of Lady Justice there with her scales and her sabre and a blindfold over her face it's a lovely idea, but in reality there are several different Lady Justices. Some have got one eye open, some have got weights on the scales, so that idea is beautiful, but when you look at it in the reality and the practicality of it, it's not true. It's purely just, look at our justice system. It's all, everyone's equal under the eyes of the law. Yeah, maybe today they might be equal in the eyes of the law, but the system has created a disparity that has that means we have a what's the word I'm looking for? Like you have an unconscious bias that pollutes people's thinking, and when you highlight that to certain people, they don't want to see it because they don't believe that bias exists. So if you say everyone's equal under the law and then highlight a problem, that's not real.
Since we are definitely talking about people who make laws as well as the justice system and systemic issues, we're going to go from bias to Biden and his choice of presidential
that was
candidates.
a crippler cross space of a segue.
Play that song again. Play that song again. I'm gonna let everybody else go first because I'm fucking furious right now. I've been angry for the last 48 hours, and I will let everyone else give their takes on Biden's VP pick.
Cortez, would you like to go first? Because Mikey's probably about to go and do some press ups and a few laps or something.
Yeah, so all right, I'll kick this thing off. All right, especially because you know I am the one of the American gentlemen, and
well, you're American.
First things first, okay. I'm gonna go a little bit left because he's going to hit this thing on the head, and I know exactly what he's going to say, so I'm not going to touch that part.
Yeah, don't steal my thunder. I shouldn't have told you.
So what I'm going to say is this, right? Sometimes in the world we live in, we want the ideal thing to happen. We have the perfect scenario that could work for us, and it doesn't. So what do? You have plan B, C, D, E, and F. Sometimes Z. And what I mean by this is, at the end of the day, if someone tells you, I'm tired of picking the lesser of two evils, but when your choice is the lesser of two evils, you choose the lesser of two evils, regardless of all of the crap surrounding both of them. You pick the lesser of two evils, and then you let it sort itself out. Because who picks big evil over the lesser of big evil? Not me. So I'm going to touch a little bit more after he goes, but I'm going to say that's point number one. So don't shoot me down or shout me down, because if you watch the Ben podcast, you know that I was not very high on Miss Madam Harris. Okay?
Miss Madam.
You know that I wasn't very high on Vice President Joseph Biden. But these are the choices that we have in front of us. Now, don't start that third party stuff with me. I get what you're saying, but that's being an idealist, and that's being a person. I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to go shoot at the other hoop. Well, there's no game at the other hoop. Yeah, but at least I'll hit some baskets. It doesn't count. We know that it doesn't count. You know that it doesn't count. So don't be an idealist and do the right thing here. So with that, I'm going to move on and let Wayne speak, because I'm going to hit some other points after this.
Well, Kamala Harris, for me, it's a tokenistic gesture, because he boxed himself into a corner when he pre-announced the criteria to who he was going to pick as his VP. He said he had to have a woman, and he had to have a woman of colour. So straight away, that eliminates Elizabeth Warren, Tulsi Gabbard, and you're left with Kamala Harris. So it's tokenistic.
And Tammy Duckworth. Don't forget about Tammy.
Tammy wasn't on that.
Yeah,
she was a choice. She wasn't on the ballot. Yeah, didn't.
Yeah. So for me, it seems tokenistic and a little bit disingenuous. I don't particularly like her, but I don't know a lot about her. But what I have seen, I'm like, oh no, she seems a bit lively. But the one thing that I will say that I am looking forward to after her at the Kavanaugh hearing is when she gets on the debate stage with Mike Pence. She is going to chew him a new one.
She is strong, bro. She's a very strong woman. She
is a strong, determined woman, and she's obviously what was she? She was
a prosecutor. I'm
the attorney general.
I want to say this about that, because that was a point that I wanted to hit, and I wanted someone else to say it. What we are dealing with in this election is it's a very centrist election, except for Mike Pence. It's a very centrist election where there isn't too much to distinguish the two sides, except for one side is like, yeah, that stuff is wrong that y'all doing, and the other side is like, no, it's supported by the man in the sky.
And one thing I'd also like to add is, do you notice that those on the right always want to sort of disavow like identity politics? Yet the first thing that they've been doing is talking about her background. Oh, she's the first African American. Oh no, she's not. She's South Asian. It's like, why does this even matter now? Come on, we're still doing this. Are we still fucking doing this?
That's something that you don't care about, but it is important to other people.
Yes. No. But what I'm saying is, everyone talks about identity politics on the right as in a pejorative way, but they're the first to highlight it when it goes for them.
They already called it affirmative action. And she hasn't even been voted on for anything yet.
You see what I'm saying? This is why I just think let's concentrate on her policies and her, I don't know, her agenda, and then let's leave that.
Can you say gender one more time?
Huh?
Can you say gender one more time? I love when British people say gender.
Agenda.
I thought you said gender.
No, I said agenda, not gender.
A gender.
He said gender, not agenda.
Sorry.
That's why I wish Jinder Mahal was still the champion, because they call him Gender. They call him the Gender Benders. His name was Gender.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, not today.
Diamond and Silk, be quiet now. It's your turn's turn.
Shatan.
Class.
No, it was like somebody dropped a rock on my head, right?
If you smell.
I'll pass the word. I don't know what to say, and we need to give Mike the word before he scratches the last of his 4 hairs underneath that.
Neck beard.
He's been fucking tearing his hair out for the last 48 hours. So I'll Mr. Mikey Famine, have a drink.
Man.
Give us your 2 cents.
Well. Here we are again, guys. Another election coming up. We have to hold our noses and vote. And what is the one thing the Republicans can always fucking count on? They have a little ditty that they sing. The Democrats eat their own. The Democrats eat their own. Shut the fuck up! Who cares if you don't fucking like her? Shut up!
Language, please. Language.
How many fucking people just died because of Trump's dumb ass not knowing how to run a fucking country? You held your fucking nose and look at the fucking coronavirus broke out and people are fucking dead because of it. Because of his stupid fucking ass. Stop being selfish. You want to bitch about motherfuckers not wearing a mask, but then you don't want to vote in somebody who will remove someone who is an active threat to this country and its safety. He is dangerous. He needs to be removed. It doesn't matter who goes in beside him. It ain't going to be him. And if anyone wants to pretend that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are the same as Trump and Pence, you're fucking daft. And I would love to have a fucking conversation with you.
With my fists.
And I know she was a cop. I know she was a prosecutor. I know that. But people change over time. She got her ass chewed up during the debates because of that. If she is put into office, now Trump is gone, number one. And number two, now we can hold her feet to the fire. If she wants to win again, all of this shit, you need to clean up. You don't get that opportunity to make someone clean up their shit if you never vote for them. It's just done and over with. And now whoever is newly elected to that position, now it's their job to clean that shit up. Make her do right is what you do. But you don't feed the fucking Republicans on day one with all of the bullshit that you know that they're going to try to dig up on her. Everyone's just flushing it right to the surface so that we can fucking lose this goddamn election. So this shit can go on for another fucking 4 years.
Did their job for them.
Why do Democrats automatically want to become Republican fucking pundits the day that something happens in the Democratic Party that they don't fucking like? Stop being a fucking child on the internet. Shut your mouth, vote this bitch Trump out, and then we can get someone in who at least is an adult that we can hold accountable. You can't even hold this piece of shit accountable right now.
Nope.
You can't even tell him anything. You can't even tell him. Like, he'll do something, and then 30 seconds later, he's like, remember when you did this? He'll call you fake news, and then everyone on his side hoots and hollers. We are in crazy times right now. But it is even crazier that someone who is of mixed heritage and who has, although affluent, worked her way up into a very prestigious position. When she was talking shit about Kavanaugh, y'all was all good. When she was trying to go after them taxes, y'all was all good. But now that she wants to be vice president, now it's no. She used to be a cop. She used to be a prosecutor. Stop. There are actual real fucking consequences to all this shit. I know I don't like her either. I don't like that she was such a strident prosecutor either. But as vice president, she now has the power to sway the Senate to undo some of the fuck shit that she did. And if you don't vote her in, then she can't unfuck it. Sorry. End rant. I'm drinking now.
And now, commentary commences. Look, y'all, I'm agreeing with this man 100%. Now, he got to say it, so now I'm going to go ahead and add my 35 cents. You got to understand the situation that we're dealing with right now. And that's, she has an opportunity, one, to fix the shit that she created. And she knows that she messed up because she got called on her shit during the debates. That's the reason why she didn't go farther in the debates, because she got called on it. Does that make her less qualified for the position? Absolutely not. She's a hard worker. She's a bulldog. She's strong. We need somebody who actually got some real balls to stand up to people and tell the truth about situations. She didn't run from the fact that she made mistakes. She made it public. Mr. President, where are your tax returns? That's a whole other thing, but I'm just saying she made things public when she got called out on the things that she did. But at the same time, her shit being public helps people in the system because it exposes the training and the practices. And she's going to say the same thing. I had a job to do and I did my job the way that my job was expected to be done. Yes, but that's also the problem. And how can someone fix it unless they're on the top already?
We already know how shit works in this country. So everyone pretending like we can just wave a magic wand and Trump's gone and Bernie Sanders isn't, but it's not going to happen.
We're not getting the Bernie Andrew ticket. It's not happening.
It's not happening. So be realistic.
Yeah, okay. But do you understand the psychology why Trump got elected?
Yeah.
I
mean, from where I'm sitting, he lost the popular vote, but that's just another cog in the wheel.
But semantics, mate. Like, fucking hell. Right, he won the election fair and square. He got more electoral votes. That's how your voting system works. Should you change it? Yes, that's a different discussion. Right. But he won that election. Do you understand why he won that election?
Tell me what you mean.
People are desperate for change, right? They're tired of everything just staying the same. People are desperate for things to change. So they are willing to vote for anybody who offers them a change, even if it's a smokescreen, even if it's a lie. As long as you tell me...
Hashtag Brexit.
As long as you tell me things are going to change, I'll vote for you.
I don't entirely agree with you, because the Hillary Clinton ticket would have been the biggest change that we'd had in the country since Obama was elected. I think that our country is grossly misogynistic on top of the other things that they have egregious misjudgments, and that's one of the reasons why he got elected, was because half the country was saying,
no, I'm not letting you get away with that. I'm not letting you get away with that. So the former First Lady of the United States and the former Secretary of State,
I don't like her.
Isn't a part of the establishment. Doesn't represent the establishment.
But I don't think they voted for him because he wasn't a politician. I think they said that, but they wanted. What's the best way of saying this? They wanted an asshole.
Yep.
No, they wanted change. What you are doing now is that you are demeaning people's feelings for change.
The same people that voted for him hated President Obama, whose slogan was change.
Next, don't care about your feelings.
The same people who voted for him.
Shut your mouth.
Like, they weren't. You want to tell you the change they wanted? They wanted to make America great again. That's the change they wanted.
No, the thing is that people started realizing that the American dream was dead. That everybody can't be anything. Everybody can't be a billionaire. And then Donald Trump comes and he says, "Yeah, of course you can." And I'm self-made, which is a total fucking lie. But it's a screen. it's a telling people what they want to hear and that everything's going to be better, even though it's a lie. And people are desperate because people in your country are desperately unhappy with the status quo.
Yeah, a lot more
I think
happy now.
I think that's a very good thesis, but I think it's more insidious than that. I think it's more, excuse me.
10 points for the excellent word.
I think it's a case of, you look at what Trump did as soon as he got into office. It's basically, they voted for Trump because he was the antidote to what a certain section of society thought was wrong. In the sense of, there's a brown fella in charge, lads. What the fuck? We need to sort this out. And they voted for the geezer who has a history, a proven history of racism, misogyny, and he is he's Biff Tanner, isn't he? Biff Tanner from Back to the Future.
Yeah, that's actually who it was based on.
Yeah, and if you look what Trump did, as soon as he got in, he just started reversing everything that Obama had put into place via executive order.
Yes.
He did everything that he condemned Obama for. The golfing thing, the executive orders. He did everything. But it's all right because I'm Trump. I can do what the fuck I like. I'm in charge now. But when it was the other way around, he was criticizing Obama. And let's face it, the unconscious bias was there and it's provable. It's absolutely the birtherism, all of that stuff. And so people latched onto that fact that he was so anti-Obama from the start, let's not have a brown man in charge, that people were like, yeah, let's get him in. Let's get him in. And now you look at Trump rallies, you look at the narratives around Trump supporters' beliefs. You look at the swastikas, you look at the Confederate flag, you look at the evangelicals, you look at all these things. They're all illogical, but they suit their belief system. And that's what I think what got Trump elected. I don't think it was anything about, again, I agree there are elements where it was about changing the status quo, but I believe it's a backlash against having a brown geezer in charge. That's my thesis.
There's another factor that we haven't talked about yet, and that's the fact that a lot of Democrats stayed home because they didn't get what they want, and that's who I'm addressing.
Yep.
And it is day one of the announcement, and everyone's already on Twitter talking shit. Shut the fuck up and hold your fucking nose. I know it sucks. We can work on changing the system after we get the poison out of our system now.
Yeah.
It is I'm not even addressing why Trump won and Republicans and all that shit. Republicans, this is a great day for them because all they have to do is screen cap all the bullshit that Democrats are saying on the internet right now. All they have to do is clip it and then make a montage of it and then just put it out. And now you've everyone, thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for making all the new Trump ads. Great job. What a great job you've done. Don't you feel so proud of your fucking right to speak?
It's even the subliminal language that people like Tucker Carlson use and Laura Ingraham. They know where the line is, so they get right up to it and they just pull back. Right up to it and then pull back. So they can't be overtly accused of certain things because I never said that. But
they'll show a bunch of Democrats saying those things, and then they get the panels going, and then you got Bakari Salos or someone sitting up there on the fucking on the dais, and he's got to explain away Democrats talking shit about Democrats.
Yep.
Keep your fucking mouths shut.
Can I?
Even yesterday, Kellyanne Conway said that Kamala Harris accused Joe Biden of being a racist, right? But then when you look at the clip that they used, she said, "I know you're not a racist." She just said you supported something about the busing back in the day, and she purposely said, "I know you're not a racist," and yet Kellyanne Conway's coming out saying, "Oh, she called him a racist." No, she didn't.
She clearly said
right
that.
there.
1 second before you started that clip, she said, "I know you're not a racist."
Yeah. Exactly.
This is my and this is what I'm trying to get through y'all fucking heads, and him too. Yes, Joe Biden wrote the crime bill that was passed by the Clinton administration that put a lot of black men in prison unjustly for a lot of time unjustly. Let me explain this to you and use common fucking sense. If you have a Republican person arguing that point that, oh, Joe Biden is a proven racist and he wrote a racist crime bill and the crime bill passed and look at all the black people that got locked up. The Republican person just admitted to systemic racism in this country. They have done the job for you. Don't give them ammunition back because they just proved that the country has exactly what you've been telling them that it has. Stop fighting their fights for them. Stop it.
That's the same reason why I don't talk to cops. I'm not going to give cops any information that they have not investigated themselves. I'm not going to volunteer where I've been and what I've been doing and all this shit because that's me doing your job for you. If you want to find out what's going on,
subpoena Apple.
Yeah. If you want to unlock my phone and see who I was talking to, talk to Apple. You want to find out where I was going, check some security footage, do some work. I don't owe you that. I don't have to disclose that. I have a right to my own privacy. And Democrats, for whatever reason, as soon as something happens that they don't like, they like to have diarrhea of the mouth and start shitting on themselves. Stop shitting on us. That is what cost us the election last time.
Like watching the first 48, man.
And I want to respond to Theo. Theo says, why is it always like this though? Every 4 years, the centrists tell the progressives to hold their noses, and every time the party moves a little further to the right. I could not agree with you more.
Yeah.
But us getting Trump out doesn't help us attain our goals. That doesn't get us to where we need to be. That doesn't get us towards a more European style of government. Even if we keep the structure the same, but even just the way that we treat our people, we don't get there by not voting bad people out.
This
country, this should have been sorted. This should have all been sorted if you'd have just stayed under the king and not thrown your toys out the pram. We'd have looked after you. We'd have brought you up. You'd be fine.
You wouldn't have UFC without us.
Well, look how you've lot of carried on. You're not even in the EU anymore.
You guys will still be bare knuckle brawling in the back of the pub.
Yeah, you wouldn't have World of Sport Wrestling if it weren't for us.
Who?
World of Sport Wrestling.
Who? Tell me how Progress is doing.
All right, but can we talk about something else for just a second?
Yeah, but I wanted to say this one point because that was part of what she said. Look, when you understand that in order for real change to start beginning to happen, and these centrists keep coming forward and keep moving farther to the right, this country has had a deep conservative rooted undertones as far as teaching in the school system up until the last 4 or 5 years. That means that everyone over the age of, let's say, 20, 22, had a conservative schooling in the United States as far as high school and down. And that's just how it was. So, of course, people are going to grow up, especially if you didn't go to college, you're going to grow up and you're going to have those conservative feelings. And when people say conservative things, you're going to say, well, that's more aligned to morals. You know, get married at 20 years old, have 3.5 kids, white picket fence, 4 bedrooms, and a 2-car garage. That's what you want to hear because that's what you've been taught.
3.5 kids. I'm not Wayne.
So you've been taught that. That is in your makeup, in your mind. That's how they taught you at school. So when you hear the Democrat speaking that same stuff, you say, well, you know what? I'm a little bit progressive, but I'm not all the way left. So that's why Trump isn't so bad. And that happened. That can't happen again. Sometimes you got to give a little to get some. But I'm not giving nothing to the Trump.
Can we talk about something in a bit of a different perspective? So yes, Joe Biden has had troublesome views and all that. So if you do something bad in the past, when do you get a pass?
And actually, this is a perfect time for all of us to have. Do we want to do that one? Let's do that one.
I would love to.
Shotgun? Do that.
Yes.
What we talked about previously. You want to do that one now?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
But first of all, I have to say, if you see there's a beautiful, we got some scrolling thingy bingies on the bottom of our screen. You need to go to patreon.com/thebinpodcast and make sure that you get your pledges in. There's a lot of special content on there. A lot of special content, unfortunately, also have been released on YouTube. We realized the other day, but it's there. But there's a lot more coming your way. We will change formats in sometime in the future. So if you want live streams, you need to go to patreon.com/thebinpodcast to get your places in. Everything from $1 up, it's fine with us. You can also put in how much your max per month is going to be. You can do per episode. You can do whatever you want. Whatever you.
What'd you get for $100?
You want to know what I give you? You gave me $100.
You can do however much you want. Please, for the sake of my sanity, never go in there and donate $100. Please don't do that.
Yo, if you do $100, we're gonna give you the WAP remix.
Hey.
Yeah. All right. So I regret doing this now, but please go into patreon.com/thebinpodcast. Get your pledges in. We appreciate your support and go.
Before a couple of comments from the chat. Before we go into this is actually a chat we've been meaning to have for probably I think a month, 6 weeks. We've been meaning to do this, but we've just been trying to find the right time to do it, and shit keeps happening. Theo says it's like giving an army pillows to fight a literal Godzilla that gets bigger every time. And I said something. They were like, "But that's fascism." I hear you, and we will talk. The things that I say on the show are not 100% my full beliefs because I can't go fully into what I think should happen. Because we're on the internet, and that's not responsible.
Yep.
KV says, populists have always been able to attack centrist Dems from the left. It's not giving them ammo to hold the party accountable and make them solidify their platform. I agree with you 100%. Unfortunately, politics in the States is a game. It is. It's just a game. And unfortunately, that game, the winner gets to decide the policies that affect actual human beings and actual people and can hinder or violate people's rights based on the power that they receive. That is unfortunately the game that we're in right now. We can't change the game unless we win the game. It's stupid, it's fascist, it's dumb. I understand. But if we don't have a mindset of we have to get the right people in place that will even listen to us, then we have no hopes of changing the rules of the game, which are fucked up as it stands. So I get it. I don't like it. Like, I love politics, but I hate politics. You know what I mean? Like I love how everything is structured and how everything, some things I would want changed, but I love learning about how things work. I like that part of it. I can tell you now, as a student of politics, we're not changing shit unless we get certain people out first. We're not there yet. We're gonna get there, but until we get the bad, at least some of the major bad out, there is no changing that. So unless you get Mitch McConnell out, nothing's changing.
Oh, and his stack of ignored bills?
Unless you get Pence and Trump out, nothing changes. Until something, I mean, the Supreme Court is fucked. And it's going to be especially fucked if our RGB dies and he gets to select another one.
Yeah, we got to get rid of them.
See, this is like, there's consequences for us not holding our noses and just abstaining the vote. Like, Supreme Court is on the line now. I know.
Can Can I just read you the early warning signs of fascism and see how many of them ring true right now?
Yeah, go for it.
Powerful and continuing nationalism, disdain for human rights, identification of enemies as a unifying cause, supremacy of the military, rampant sexism, controlled media, obsession with national security, religion and government intertwined, corporate power protected, labour power suppressed, disdain for intellectuals and the arts, obsession with crime and punishment, rampant cronyism and corruption, fraudulent elections. Any of them ring true at the minute? This is America. Mm.
Yeah, I'm getting upset about it. I'm stop.
Do you not see like how deliberate Trump is being with his rhetoric at the minute, especially with his postmaster general, all of the policies regarding the post office, the coronavirus linked with the absentee ballots, all of this
The
is
bashing of the FBI director.
Yeah.
The public thing about Barr, but blah blah blah.
He
Fucking
wants
Trump.
to dissolve it and take it over.
It's all coalescing into one great conspiracy where he can turn around and say, heads I win, tails you lose. So, for instance, if he wins the election, he can say, "Oh yeah, it was straight up, it was brilliant." But what he's doing is he's sowing the seed to say that if he loses the election, it was the most corrupt election. It's the most tremendously corrupt election ever.
He's already committed crimes of tampering, and no one's saying anything about it. That's what makes it so bad. The president cannot make guarantees on the stock market. That's illegal. And no one cares that he did it on national television.
The thing is, people are calling it out in certain areas of independent media. But the so-called mainstream media, apart from Fox News, are staying away from it because they want access to people. And this is where I feel capitalism has corrupted the media in the sense of certain political, like whether they be politicians or pundits or whatever, will not go on certain shows because they know they'll have their pants pulled down to a degree. But there are other people that will just say, no, you can come on our show, please come on our show because we want the ratings. And then they'll get softballs. Yep. And they'll just be like, oh yeah, oh, let me tickle your belly, it's fine. And then when it goes to independent media, such as ourselves, we'll sit there and tear it apart because it's like, what the fuck is going on? All they're doing is they're chasing ratings. And that is the problem. You want to sell advertising on our network, you've got to let these people on to get the eyeballs on the show. But if these people don't want to come on because they know they're going to get a tough time, they won't come on. It's pathetic. I think every politician should be obligated to go on all of these shows and have all of the eyeball questions. Trump the other day when he walked off because he got
they asked him a factual question.
Yeah, he got a tough question and he walked off. Fuck off. No, you stay here.
They also fact-checked him on live air and he hated it.
Yeah.
Because he told a lie.
I think, yeah.
No. But I've got big news flashes all fucking week about Trump and all his shenanigans. Like, is there anything else to talk about? Is there nothing going on in the world like a pandemic or something that we can talk about that is more cheery than talking about?
I'm gonna say this about that, and you have the link. For everyone that is in denial about the coronavirus relief, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that you need to blame your politicians, because the House of Representatives passed this bill in May for coronavirus relief, and then 48 Democratic senators also tried to pass this bill in May. It has been sitting in front of Mitch McConnell since May. The president took an executive order and basically bailed out businesses, reduced unemployment, and said on national television that the reason he did it was because he wanted to give people the incentive to work. Let me explain this. Businesses are still closed and capacities are reduced. That means less work for employees and the working class. Malls, restaurants, bars, security, these industries are affected, meaning that when you cut down the unemployment, hairstylists, barbers, when you cut down the unemployment, you're not incentivizing them to work. You're essentially cutting off the lifeline that they have to at least somehow partially pay for bills so that their lights stay on, so that they don't lose their house, so that they don't lose the car that they get to work with. You're not incentivizing anyone to go back to work because there are no more jobs. It's just how it is. He's selling this narrative that he's trying to stimulate the economy by getting people back to work, when all he's doing is putting people at risk. The link will be posted so you can read the bill yourself and see who tried to sign it and who passed it and who didn't. They are holding this up. He had an opportunity to give us aid. He did not give anything to the people. He took and gave it to the big businesses again. And I'm going to say this one last time. The reason why he has run the country the way that he's run it during the pandemic is because he wants to run the country as if it is a business. And let me tell you about businesses. When you're sick, they want you to come to work. They don't care if you're dying. If you got into a car accident, they want you to come to work. Can you move still? Did you break a leg? Okay, fine. We'll get you a chair. They want you at work. They don't care about your well-being. That's our capitalist system.
And to add to that, why is it that the politicians and the right-wing media are obsessed about getting people back to work, when there are a lot of people, especially like over here, there are a lot of people that are working from home in service-based jobs, like the banking or finance or whatever, that are working from home. They're working remotely. And like all of the train stations are empty during the day. There's no one there. London is empty, properly empty.
Why is this so? He mentioned the American dream, right? The American dream is office buildings and real estate and all these unnecessary things that we have, that with technology now, you can do everything that you were doing in an office building in a cubicle in your room.
Yeah.
And be just as productive, if not more productive, because you're comfortable.
So why is this obsession with especially right-leaning journalists and politicians
to
get people back into the office?
They own it. They own this. They own that property.
There you go.
They own those properties. They own those apartment buildings. They own those stores. They need people in them, working them, so they can make more money. Because if I'm not bringing in 17 times what I'm paid, they're not making anything off of me.
But if the employee is happy and safe to stay at home and be more productive, and the employer is happy because that employee is safe at home and being more productive, saving money because they're not getting a train into central London every day, and being more productive because they're spending more time working, not spending 2 hours traveling each day, where is the incentive for the employer to get them into the office?
One last point, to piggyback with you. At the beginning of this tax season, before the coronavirus hit the United States, the president signed into a law via executive order that they don't have to pay those taxes. So the top percentage of corporations in America didn't pay any taxes. They have the money because they didn't pay billions of dollars in tax revenue back to the government. They already had the money. The president made sure of it beforehand. They're not broke. We are.
Yeah. So they're seeing a dip in their revenue and they're not liking it. So they're saying, all you workers, get back to the office because we want to keep an eye on you. The employers are fine. The employees are fine, but the landlords are not.
Yep.
Strange, that.
Yep.
Zlatan, you look like you want to chime in on something.
Well, let's
Let's
shift gears.
So,
go ahead.
But here's what I want to say about this is that so you can see a swing now in a lot of countries, especially over here in Europe, is starting to get more cases of corona as soon as restrictions were lifted.
Yeah.
Because people want to go back to the old normal. People haven't realized that the old normal doesn't exist anymore. We have to get used to the new normal. Things aren't going to go back to being the same that they were before fucking COVID-19. This is a new world, and this is going to change. It's not going away. The Russian vaccine is ridiculous. They tested it on 38 humans, and then all of a sudden, and what was it, like 133 different side effects on that fucking Russian vaccine? And Putin goes like, it's safe, let's go for it. No здоровье. Are you fucking serious right now? That's Contes with a capital fucking C. And we need to accept the fact that the old normal doesn't exist anymore, and that when you have to do what you have to do. It was perfectly safe to go to London to see Wayne. It turned out that nobody was positive. I could have gone, but just because of the insecurity of the fact that somebody that my brother had, he hadn't even met the guy, but he had worked in the place that he owned. He had played in that place. We decided to, after we actually checked in on the first flight to go, to cancel it. Because that's the right thing to do in this new normal that we live in. And I'm not trying to stroke my own D here. I'm just saying that everybody should take that responsibility. You do. No, but you have to. You have to take responsibility for your own actions in this. And it doesn't matter if you're 8, 18, or 80. You do have to keep adjusting. And things change. And things just... Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we can't just make fun of people because they want to go back to the new normal, because that is it's a very normal thing to want to go back to something that you were comfortable with and that you know. But that world, it just doesn't exist anymore. This is something new. It's something we don't know. We have to adjust, and we have to adjust.
Zlatan, going back to your previous point, I'm not kissing your ass or anything. I just want to put you over on the phone call that we had. I'm gonna put Zlatan over because he phoned me to tell me that obviously he wasn't coming over. He was very emotional, but he was doing it for the right reason. And he was like, I don't want to sit on a tube of humans and infect them all, and then come to my house and infect my family because he didn't know. And that's where I feel that a lot of the populace, especially these like fucking anti-mask twats, fall on their ass. Because Zlatan is saying, I'm not coming because I don't want that responsibility, and I want to make sure that I'm good first, right? That's fucking socialist. That's socialist. You get, well, no, not just me. All the people on the plane, all the people he's coming in contact with. Exactly, and people he doesn't know.
So if I'm protecting him by making sure that I'm safe, then am I not also protecting myself?
Yeah, for sure.
So if I'm protecting him, but that's protecting me, and he's protecting you, and that's protecting him, and then he's protecting you, and that's protecting him. Mm-hmm. Then we're all getting protected. But like you said, we have these anti-mask jackasses that walk in stores and yell, "I'm not wearing a mask, and you can't make me," and it's a medical issue.
Mm-hmm. There you go. That's the difference between capitalism.
But here was the point I was trying to get to, is that we already know that recommendations don't work, because doctors has told us for hundreds of years, all of the professionals within the medical community has told us, get vaccinated. It works. It helps. But you still have the anti-vaccine movement, don't you? Yep. Because it's not a fucking law that you have to go get vaccinated.
Putting cats, drugs, and vaccines.
All right, Jartan, you open that can of worms.
We're not going there. We'll do it next. We'll do it next week. We'll do it next
week.
But
and it's not a fucking. No, but give me a second. It's not a fucking secret that the Earth is round. But you still have the flat Earth. Right?
No, next 2 weeks from now, we'll do that one. We cannot do flat Earth.
No. We're not going into it.
Episode 50,
the point I'm trying to make.
Special.
I wanted AJ Styles on the Ben Wrestling show. So
yeah, but recommendations don't work. You need a strong government to tell you what to fucking do, and you need repercussions on that.
You need a parent. You need a parent.
Yeah, you need a fucking parent. You need a grown-up in the fucking ring.
He's got the stars and stripes on right now. You trying to get us shouted down?
No, but you need somebody to tell you, I'm going to bankrupt you, take your house away, and fucking put you into prison if you don't do what I fucking tell you to.
Here we go. See,
don't say the G word.
I was trying to help y'all to steer. We were trying to get a group steering him away from the goo word. But
in other news,
we touched on something important when it came to Kamala, and that is, how long do your mistakes follow you? How far down the line can people hold shit over your head? And
in this country, I don't know about everywhere else. In this country, it goes with you for the rest of your life. There is no way to rehabilitate. It's always going to be on you. It's always going to be on your record, and you're never getting normalcy back when you mess up, unless you got a lot of money.
Yep.
So the thing is, what you're suggesting there is there's a hierarchy of wrongdoing, which is reflected in law. Some crimes are you get a criminal record for life, that's it. Others are just like you get a slap on the wrist and you forget about it. So what you're really asking for there is, how long's a piece of string?
But I think some people just lengthen the string for others the further they get down the path, so that they will never get to the end.
No, what I'm saying is you get someone who might murder someone in like a fit of rage, who did it in a fit of rage and can be rehabilitated, or you could have a serial killer. You know, where do you put the stops in? Do you know what I mean?
Or for just like Aunt Becky. Aunt Becky did the same thing that Homegirl did. But Aunt Becky is not.
She never did a day.
She's probably not going to serve any time. She's just going to have like extended house arrest or something like that.
If they convict her right now, she's not going to prison.
No, she's just.
But this is what I'm saying.
Going to chill.
Unless you have a steadfast, unbreakable set of rules, you have to make it subjective. Otherwise, it's like if you speed, over a certain speed limit, you get a fine. That's it. End off. There's no excuses. There's no extenuating circumstances. Oh, I'm trying to get my missus to the hospital. Don't really care, mate. You're done.
Officer's discretion.
But then discretion is ambiguity.
So the way it was explained to me is there is the law. This is the Constitution, the amendments, the Bill of Rights, all these things, all the way down, right? They said that it's a delicate bending without breaking flexibility of law. And that is why you have multiple judges and you have a lawyer and you have a prosecutor all arguing the same law and viewpoints of it. And then it comes down to a jury of your peers or a bench trial, depending on what you choose. And it's a delicate balancing act because anytime you bring humanity into a situation, you're going to have faults because humans are imperfect and humans are biased. And that is also the problem with trying to be rigid and not using a case-by-case, incident-by-incident basis on how you judge guilt or innocence in the country for anything. We're talking about mail fraud all the way to serial murders and or terrorist acts. You know, you can't judge them all under the same umbrella. And then someone says, oh, well, it was illegal. That's why. Because remember, the law changes. It used to be where if you helped someone escape slavery, that was illegal. And you could be punished by death.
Yeah, but Cortez, it's not only the law. The society changes. Everything changes. What was okay 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, isn't okay today. It changes, and it always changes. So if you held a position that was okay 20 years ago, are you allowed to judge me for taking that position today?
And
here we go. Here's the chicken talk. I knew it was coming.
Can I be blamed for feathers in my beard that are from yesterday? Ask the real question.
But the deal is, like, if I had held a position that was okay to hold 20 years ago, the world around me changed. I changed my position. Should I still, with the position that I had 20 years ago, should you still be able to hold that against me?
Not if you've changed your mind and you've made it public.
I have a thought experiment. Now, how would you talk to the you of 10 years ago? Because to me, I was a fucking cock 10 years ago. 20 years ago, I was even worse.
Right? Some chickens.
Some things never change.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. Am I right?
I'm giving you fuckers an out here. You can say, yeah, me 10 years ago, I was a dick. But I agree. If I met myself 10 years ago, yeah, I'd want to give myself a slap. Well, can we go 12 years ago? Because that's just when I met my wife.
I knew it. He was going there. I knew he was going there.
It's an arbitrary number. You pick and choose where you want to go.
12 years. Run, Forrest, run!
Are we speaking in terms of public appearances?
No, everybody.
People, or
everybody.
Just your mindset. It's your mindset.
Because I think that there's two sets of standards.
10 years ago is totally different to what it is today. Massively.
I remember a time where my political leanings were more idyllic.
Stop making words up, man.
I don't know whatever that word is I'm trying to say. That word. And then it wasn't until the truth bomb hit me in the face about 50,000 times where I was just like, oh, I want what I'm believing to be true, but it's not gonna happen here. And I had that change.
He being nice. I was a staunch Republican, staunch conservative. I voted Republican We're talking about 18-year-old me on my first ballot. I was able to vote for Republican people. And I'm talking about, did I vote for some Democrats? I did, but they were really conservative. Really conservative Democrats. And I'm saying this. You can change because people do change.
Is this the end of Rocky 4 right now?
Huh?
Is this the end of Rocky 4 right now?
No, you can change, you can grow, you can get better. There's two things that has to happen. We're going to call this word penance. Not to be confused with Mike Pence or penis. Penance.
Mike Penance.
You know, we're gonna say that. That's the first one. The second one is, if you fuck up, you have to acknowledge your fuck up and not make an excuse for it.
Yep.
I hate when people say, well, I'm sorry, I was blah, 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 blah. No.
I'm sorry, end of sentence, end of conversation.
If you say, I'm sorry, but that's not a sorry.
Right. I fucked up.
Doesn't count anymore. You have just subtracted the sorry because you put a butt in front of it.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how much I have grown and changed over the last 15 years. So I cannot tell you.
Certainly grown sideways, dude. Especially around the gut.
I would do a whole podcast with no shirt on, Jartan. We're gonna call it the Ben at Night.
He'll do it with no pants on. Don't play an arms race with this man.
What was that on BET? What was that called? It's gonna be the Ben Uncut.
Oh no, no! All right. Make sure you guys
Unleashed.
sub to us on OnlyFans.com apparently because
Ben Podcasts.
No, but what I'm saying is, so
Can we bring Brenna in? Fuck's sake.
If y'all promise to pay, I'll make an OnlyFans.
There's a reason she's not here. She knew this was coming.
We got Magic Mikey.
No! No!
Talk about some.
No. I don't dance anymore. I'm a DJ. I gave it up.
So I'm going to say you have
you
to
got
be able
Magic
to.
Mikey, Fat Dudes, and me.
Also,
no.
if you are in a position to make retribution and recompense, there's the pence again. If you can do retribution and recompense for your mistakes, you are obligated to do so. Obligated. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If I punched him in the face and I hurt that man and I didn't know anything better, and then I found that I was wrong, I need to make it right. And that's what I'm saying about Madam Harris.
Yeah, I did that. I gave him a left. He broke his nose. I gave him a right. The nose was back in place.
See, Eve, that's being Eve.
To be fair, Cortez, to validate your statement here, we've all done it on this show. We all said, put our hands up when we got something wrong. We said, yeah, we were wrong. And the thing is, there's no ego here. There's no pride. If we got something wrong, we put our hands up and go, no, we got it wrong. End of. We can have disagreements on opinions, but if we are proven wrong, we all say we have all said at some point, oh, I got that wrong. All of us.
Yes.
29 episodes deep. We've all said we got it wrong.
Because people make mistakes. They make mistakes in judgment. Shoot, I make mistakes in some of the food that I eat. We make mistakes.
Obviously.
In the cars that you drive.
You know, we bought the wrong house sometimes. Or, you know, we bought the wrong car sometimes. Or sometimes we buy the wrong clothes. Or, you know, sometimes we choose to have green bills under our hats, even though we have a green screen television show. And that is things that we can make right in this world. And I just have to say, for anyone listening, I don't care what you did in the past if you are better today. But please be better for real.
I don't care who you are, where you're from.
You're going to get us copyright strikes.
Oh, no, don't.
They're going to take all of our $37.
Ever since Yartan's best mate became Scott from Five, he's all about the boy band.
He's very sing-songy nowadays. You notice that. Before he would be like, oh, I'm just practicing scales on his 7-string, like, you know, just getting his gent on. And now he's all
Look
like,
at me drop D. Look at me drop D. And he's like, now he's
slam
like,
dunk the funk every
bing,
other
bing,
word
bing, 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 bing,
now.
bing, 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 bing,
I
bing,
artificially
bing, bing.
elongated my finger so I can reach every chord.
My fret range isn't most impeccable. It's the most amazing.
It's tremendous.
Tremendous fret range.
But
So,
you have to
wait,
make the anus lips.
I want to know
I've
what
got a
fucking.
range that the world has never seen.
So I think going forward for all presidents, I need to know what your fret range is.
Well, have you seen Donald Trump's hands? They're really small.
I have small hands.
Hey, look. Look, if you noticed when Donald Trump fed the athletes food, there was no Whoppers there because he can't hold it. He got those little baby hands.
I'm sorry, Cortez. I have to get something to drink.
What? Yeah.
He's got those tiny hands.
I've been exhausted from saluting.
He's got those tiny little hands.
I'm saluting all of you.
So have we done the most important thing that we're doing at the start of every show? Did you do that before I came in?
Merlot.
Yep.
What?
I'm on Merlot.
Oh, Merlot. Will they run out of Shiraz?
Everybody, go to patreon.com/thebitpodcast so we can get Wayne some more Shiraz.
I said yes. I did.
I will not stand for it. I will not stand for it.
Actually, I didn't crack it open because I want to drink it with a fine dinner. But 19 Crimes, the vineyard.
Too bad, Jonathan. This was in the cupboard.
There you go.
Oh, good.
I will go
Almost
to
had a
request
heart
that
attack,
Jartan that you don't stand at all because you have a problem with wearing pants.
You have a pants issue.
Oh, hang on a minute. Why are you obsessed with our pants? Sorry, trousers for European listeners.
Anyway, so I actually have a bottle of a red blend from 19 Crimes, sponsored, and it's Snoop Dogg wine.
Yep.
It's the Cali Red. I was like, oh man, I had to get that. That was $13 well spent.
Yep.
But I'm waiting for a good meal, and then I will.
In honor of my grandmother, I have one bottle of Marilyn Monroe's Chanier, as my grandmother called it. It's Chardonnay. She always called it Chanier.
I heard a bad story about Marilyn Monroe today.
Eesh.
On the JRE with Joey Diaz. I could listen to Joey Diaz forever.
I hope
His voice
Joey Diaz
is
can listen to us.
That's a character right there. But back to the topic we were talking about, since we've kind of discussed what we're drinking. There's been guests that we have talked about having on the show, which is what spurred this conversation initially with me and Shartan. We don't want to platform people who are bad, even if they're popular. But at the same time, if someone has made recompense and they have made retribution and they're on the right path going forward, we don't see a problem with having that person on the show. Wayne, is there somebody, that being said, is there things that people could have done or are currently doing that you would think, no, that's an instant no, not happening?
I'm going to have to go to the extreme, really, and it'd be your man, Paul Joseph Watson, Alex Jones, them types, Stephen Crowder, all of that lot. They won. I'm not interested.
So for the
I'll
record,
listen to you.
Rock the
I'm take you
Dwayne
apart.
Johnson is good.
Huh?
We can have Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
Of course.
Good.
He can do a simulcast sitting next to me if he
I'm
likes.
gonna text him right now.
No, he's not allowed on here. Too pretty. Get your pretty ass the fuck up out of here.
No. You know,
Have you
he's
seen his
just
teeth?
too ridiculously perfect.
His teeth are amazing.
His pecs are bigger than my head. Get out of here. Not happening. He's not getting a link.
He's actually had breast reduction surgery.
Crazy.
Because he has the was it mastitis, where he has a fat buildup. So no matter how lean he is, he's always gonna have man boobs.
Yeah. have to have the.
Everybody, welcome to the Potty Mods podcast with Mikey, Cortez, and Wayne.
What? Really?
Hey, Alistair. Watch it.
What are you talking about?
Are we talking about The
Alistair
Rock's
Black,
teeth
everyone.
and his breast reduction surgery all of a sudden? How the fuck?
I'm not talking about any of that, you wanker.
Yeah, wind your neck in, Shartan. It's just a couple comments.
Whoa,
Jeez, we're allowed
whoa,
to
gimmick
talk.
infringement. Don't use my fucking lines.
He said that's my bit.
In it.
I'm the real
Gimmick
nature boy.
infringement. I can't have anything around here.
You know what?
got that,
American state in it.
I won't say it anymore. Wayne has so little time to speak his mind. I don't want to take any of the lines out of his catalog. He gets one evening a week to be Wayne. He
One.
gets one evening a week to be Wayne, so I will let him have that. But Shartan, what about you?
Are you gonna job for him?
What's something that will get somebody?
Hassan Piker.
Oh no!
Oh shit!
You shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. So what if Hassan Piker apologized for some of the stuff he said? You having him on?
Yeah.
That growth?
I'll have anyone on.
I don't believe it.
I just feel like it's a setup.
Yeah, I feel like, like have him on so I can ping his IP address.
I am going to do my utmost now. I'm going to reach out to Hassan
He
Piker.
lights a cigarette
I'm
while
going
you
to say
say
to him,
it.
I'm going to say to him,
Diabolical.
we've got a guy on our podcast that tests you, change his mind.
You might get us some Twitch.
No, don't change my mind. Just have an adult fucking conversation with me. No, I'm not gonna. But yeah, fuck it. Like, no, fucking do it. Well, not to change my mind.
All right, Wayne, ring him up. We've actually got him in the backstage area. Go ahead and bring him in, Wayne.
Go ahead.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Hassan.
Could you imagine?
Well, everyone.
Even with a million beads around his wrist and some funky glasses.
I gotta say, guys, that
You are Hassan Piker.
That's why he doesn't like him.
Oh man,
He's insecure about
He's
him.
He's
I'm not
nicking his
scripted.
gimmick.
I'm not scripted.
Oh,
That's a different-
you know what that means? You know what that means? We've reached that point in our show to where we're starting to get a little bit unhinged, and that is reserved for Patreon supporters only. So head on to patreon.com/TheBenPodcast and support us. Come watch the show. We got to do some after show stuff.
Yeah, I think it's after show time, so we can actually start cursing properly. So
I'm tired of being nice.
So we're gonna wrap. We're gonna wrap for the main show. Thank you everybody for supporting us. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Love you. Love you. Love you. I'm gonna get the song ready and mute this mic.
Yeah, so now it's only me and you that can be heard.
Yeah.
So what should we say about these two pricks?
No, it looks like fucking Beavis and Butthead in the modern.
Oh man, I'm telling you, it's diamond and silk. Diamond and silk.
Is it Diamond and Silk? Is that where we go with this? It's Diamond and
Yeah,
Silk.
mate. Definitely. You better
The one on
know.
the right, the one on the right looks like he's eaten the one on the left, though.